Hello guys, thank you for joining me. I'm over here on my YouTube, so hello YouTube, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma, hello Facebook. So I wanted to start out with the first question that I posed in the description, which is how are you feeling? And I really want to hear your answers on this because here's what is true. I have gotten, not only is my awareness out there on how people are behaving and reacting, and I'm just kind of holding space for that, but I'm noticing people out there that are a little bit flipping their shit. The people that really usually have it together, people who are really movers and shakers and getting things going, and they're feeling shaken. So I must have had a dozen different texts and emails today from people that were like, is happening. Everybody, like my bestie texted me and she said, I feel like shit's about to go down. Something is feeling pretty heavy. So I really wanted to hear from you guys how you're feeling, because there is a lot of energy out there. Hi, Crystal Luna. Hi, Cass. I'm feeling this energy too. And the best way to describe it is, you put people in their house for 90 days. And what you've done is essentially taken the Coke bottle, shoved a Mentos in there and screwed the lid on, and gave it a good shake for a little while. We're sitting there in this bottle, all this pressure ready to build. And so for some of us who've really been hanging on and holding the line for other people's energy, it's getting to the boiling point for us. And I'm starting to notice that people are just losing their shit. I mean, and it's not the thing that they're really losing it over, right? Hi, Mary Beth, darling. Hey, Nicole. What's up, Bitsy? So I'm definitely getting a lot of feedback from my clients that are saying, what now? I was talking to Holly yesterday and she's like, man, we need to sit down and do a collab and like break this down on what's happening. I had clients that typically aren't witchy, typically aren't astrology, reach out and be like, hey, yo, there's gotta be something because it's just not right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, well, before I get into discussion time for those of you guys who are gonna hang out, I do wanna talk about, like, at this point, self-care so that you can deal with other people and manage that with coming from a sense of power. You can only do that when you're charged up. You can't use your phone on a road trip if you don't plug it in, okay? So just self-care. I was talking to somebody earlier. I'm like, do you smoke weed? I mean, whether I do or don't is none of anybody's deal, but I'm like, if you smoke weed, smoke it. I'm like, if you feel like you can disconnect and turn your phone off, do that. If you can take a nap, do that. If you can, anything that you can do for yourself right now, I think it's imperative that you do so, because the reserves that we have aren't just being used up in our normal day-to-day stuff. Stress is a physiological, like emotions hit our body. They do hit our body. As much as we like to talk about how, emotions aren't called feelings for nothing, okay? And that's what I wanted to talk about. Is some of the problems that we have in our community and in our country and our world and mankind as in general is that first word that I put in the caption here, which is disassociation, right? We tend to disassociate from everything. Nothing is painful or real unless it's happening to us, right? So we can play video games that kill each other and movies that are violent and watch and repost violence over and over and over and just be like, it's whatever, it's he, they, she, them, it's not me. So we internalize emotions, yet we disassociate from them. So we don't talk about our emotions. Men are great at this. Women, we're talking about all over the place. Sometimes we're not even talking about it. I shouldn't even classify like that. What's wrong with me? But I think we have this disassociation, and it's a cultural thing, right? We never shut our brain off long enough for it to recalibrate. There is so much stimuli going on all the time that we never sit and really get with our emotions and find out the proprioception, the awareness of body, in order to find out where our pain is coming from. Because when you go within and you meditate and you take some time to really allow your brain to disassociate from the stories and dialogue that isn't even created by you or involving you, and you don't have a chance to really look at yourself and what you need if you're not listening to yourself. So if you don't have meditation, you have no proprioception, because if you are not meditating, if you are not taking time to sit in your body and let everything go, then your proprioception is off. So those of you out there that are empaths, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We are hyper aware of sensations within our body. So the key to this here, guys, is to go within and get that meditation and those meditative states that are going on in your skill set so that you can use this to maintain and keep a grip. Okay? It's not always going to be easy, but if meditation is not in your normal practice and it's not a skill set or a tool that you have access to, begin, try. I mean, call me for a session and I'll train you, I'll teach you, I'll play with you. Because meditation, when done right, I know for myself, for a very long time, I couldn't see the value in meditation. I thought it had to do with some religious practice, or I had to do it right, or that I had to shut my brain completely off. And what I was discovering, and in my frustration, I was learning that my brain isn't shutting off. Well, it's not supposed to. It never shuts off. 1,500 words a minute, your brain goes. So you can't conjugate a sentence with 1,500 words per minute, but your brain is going that fast. So if you sit down for 90 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, any amount of time, your brain is still going to go. The trick is not to engage, right? So you want to make sure that when you're sitting still, even if you're never going to get a completely silent room, you're not going to be in a float tank every time you need a 10-minute meditation. You're absolutely not going to have a perfect world and a perfect bubble to meditate in. I don't care if it's the garbage man going by. It doesn't even have to be inside your house, but it's training yourself to sit in your body, become aware of your body, aware of your environment. Start listening to your subconscious mind a little bit. Find out what your needs are. Calm it. Like, take all the stimuli away for a little while so you can ground yourself. Because right now, this is literally a heavy period. There's like decisions being made right and left about all of our liberties in a zillion ways. So how do you sit with that? How do you feel? What do you think about that? There's data coming from everywhere. So you start there. I mean, we're not even going to talk about what happens after you begin mastering meditation and the tricks and playful things you can do with meditation and what it can do for your body and your spiritual practice. But I wanted to talk about that. And you guys aren't saying anything. You're just listening to me rant. I want to hear how you're feeling. Is this going on for anyone else out there where they feel like they're being shaken up inside, like they're being required to like make decisions or draw a line or step to something or speak to something? I really want to hear it because I'm getting different dialogues from different people that are similar energy with different circumstances. I don't know if you've heard that before where it says, somebody said we're all in the same boat, and somebody said we're not in the same boat, we're in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat. So I'm getting a lot of this energy from people where they're just feeling like ridiculously turned upside down. So I'm going to pull up my Facebook over here so that, because I'm getting the feeling there's probably comments that are not even showing up because I'm not seeing any. Oh, there they are. Okay, so hi Vicky, what's going on, Ryan? There you go. Okay. Yeah, so Link's saying you have to disconnect. Like you literally, hi Link. So you literally got to be, like, in order to survive all of this, you've really got to take care of yourself, right? I mean, and that may be just extremely selfish in some people's opinions. Like, if I'm not okay, don't call me right now. I've like shut my phone off. I know clients were trying to get a hold of me, but if I did not recharge, and the big thing for me is channeling this energy, right? So as soon as I open up and do one of these lives, or I come on here and I open up to channel somebody's energy, wham, all this extra protection and guarding that I've done to keep it at bay kind of goes out the window, right? So what I like to do is to also teach the empaths, and those of you that are new to this too, like this is a great example. So if you're not meditating and you don't have that place to like recharge, you're not going to have the ability to give for other people, right? So I've learned something recently. So it's not our job as the human being. These little beings aren't designed to shut these emotions off. We have to, if we're feeling overwhelmed by emotions coming at us from different directions, I would say allow the emotions to move through you. Our job isn't to protect ourselves from them. They're coming up for a reason. Emotions are a chemical response asking us to move. Does that like hit home for anybody? Like if you're deeply sad and there's some grief, like where is the pain point to that? And are you just running around being angry, irritated, sad, mad, whatever Coke bottle and a Mentos that you want to be? How are you allowing that to happen if you don't have any control. Like, I know for myself that I'm grateful that I have meditative practices, because sometimes I sit in that meditation and the grief comes up, the anger comes up, which is definitely a power play and frustration. And I allow these feelings to come. And it's been a rough 5 days for me to the point where I'm just like shaking with the self-control that it's taken to hold my shit together. And I know I'm not the only one that's out there, right? That's feeling this way for a million different reasons. We got Mercury retrograde. We have COVID. We have so much, right? So for 1,000 different reasons, our relationships with Mercury retrograde, it's just so much of an energy, right? So Mary Beth is saying, I feel a ton of pressure to put final lines on stuff and keep having to tell myself to just chill, it's okay, it will be okay to deal with tomorrow. And that's a good one, because I think, Sally, if you're not on here, she and I were talking earlier, she's just like, I don't know what's happening, but I feel it, right? And I had 3 clients reach out to me and was like, please go live. Please help me unpack this, right? What's happening? How are we feeling? But I wanted you guys all to know that I know I'm not the only one feeling like this. And so the trick is, you've got to allow space for these emotions to happen. So I know personally for myself that when I feel that shitty, my body holds all of this pain. So imagine feeling clenched, and I'm not in the corner crying, but imagine in the corner crying and I'm making these fists and it's almost like a seizure. And then you wonder why when you finally fall asleep that you're feeling like you have the flu and you're overtired and you're achy. You gotta self-care. And if you bottle these things up, they're more detrimental to your health, and they're definitely going to be repressive and become traumas later and triggers that you're going to have to fix later. Okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys about meditation. Please reach out to me. I know Sam does. Good for you. I mean, this is the trick, guys. I mean, I'm getting texts in the middle of the night, people freaking out. They're like, what do I do? What do I do? This is where you start, guys. Take the time. And if you don't have a sacred space, I don't care if it's a sacred corner, get you one. Find yourself some space where you can just, I don't care if it's your incense, your favorite book, or a blanket, or a favorite snack, or create a sacred space. Feed your soul in whatever way you can. I don't care if it's a bathroom break, or if it's like the bathtub and a salt scrub. I don't care if you got to go sit in your backyard in the swing, because I know for me, sometimes getting out of the pressure inside the house when things aren't going my way, or I'm feeling as if I have no strength in myself to actually affect change on anything, and I'm just willing to let it go. Because there are some things that are really big and moving, right? So what do they say when the waves come? The bigger the wave, dive deep. Just you just got to let these waves pass over us. And that's right. So Karen's saying, I keep saying the phrase, just for today, be okay. Tomorrow isn't here yet. And I know for some of you this may sound super crazy, but these last few days have been so tough for me that it's been a victory to just get out of bed, shower, do my makeup, and act like I'm doing something more than just moping in this energy. So, and usually this is my expertise. I'm the happy, bouncy, dancy girl that is in the bathroom screaming and yelling to my music and dancing with my dog, and I'm cool. I'm always so cool, and I shift well. So for me, it's more deeply disturbing because my peace is disturbed completely. And I'm not talking about everything that's going on. I mean, I get it. These are the times we're in. But in the moments when I'm trying to reconnect, I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I don't have the space. I don't have the time. I don't have, and I'm running myself dry here. Going to bed later, getting up earlier, doing too much for other people. And it is perfectly okay to disconnect, to take a step back, to say no. And I wanted to talk about this with you guys. San, call me. Hi, Donna. But yeah, it's dark. And, here's the thing. If you start thinking about the injustices of the world and you never get your brain off of that, it's like binge watching Sons of Anarchy. It's like one train wreck after another, or Final Destination. You know what I mean? It's like it's coming for you. Yes, we know, right? We've got history to teach us. We have a plethora of information across all spectrums, everything from YouTube to Instagram to Google and Wikipedia. There's no excuse to not have information, but at what point? Hi, Matt. So at what point do you, you grow where you're planted, you can affect what you can affect from where you're at, and that's what we're expected to do. We can only do too much, can only do so much, and so much within a day. So I posted something the other day, I don't know if you guys noticed, where it said everybody has a different role, and that hit hard for me because as a paramedic, It's deeply ingrained within us to recognize our role on a scene. So if I'm the paramedic and I'm grabbing onto the fence watching the firefight go on between gang members or cops and robbers, something, or I don't know, make up a scenario in your head, but I can't go running in there and get shot in the middle of it all because I don't know what they're doing or how to keep safe or what to aim at or who's who even. So I'm not able to help that situation. My skill set is to wait and pray that they don't need me, right? So my role was to wait and mend, right? And be fast and be smart and take care of the patients. So there was a post that I put the other day that said, everybody has a different role right now. Okay, Maria Rose, you are the reason I'm here. So glad to hear I'm not losing it. Have disconnected, it's the first step. So don't forget, disassociation is a dangerous game, right? It's a dangerous game. When you take your feelings out of it, you're bottling them up and you're creating a whole new PTSD pattern. We got to address these things. But so some people's role is to teach. I've been teaching this stuff that you guys are arguing about back and forth on Facebook for 20 years. I'm done. When you've got yourself a little bit of an idea of what's really happening and you're having the right conversation about what's happening out there, then you can come to me. I have no energy for the teaching part. Right? I'm on a little bit of a different path, and I'm starting to see where the healing needs to happen for that. And I hold space for the anger to clear, okay? Because I am a little transformer. I'm an Energizer bunny. It's what I do is shift. I'm all about shifting energy. So as these waves come to me, my job is to regurgitate it in a place of love and give it back. And then you guys do what you want with it, because I am not going to see this destruction happening if I can visualize any other better way to do it. There are others that have their boots on the ground. There's others that are teachers. There's others that are funders that go out there and they fund things to make things happen like a wave. But don't ever forget, those of us that are quiet, we're not stupid. Some of us aren't speaking for a reason. We're either protecting our energy, or if we speak out, maybe some of us are just watching for a reason. Because, 48 laws of power? Just think a little bit, guys. Not everybody is going to go arguing. And I think it was Jamie Renee that said, you're never going to change the world arguing in someone's comments. And I loved it, because you're not. You're not going to do anything or change anybody's mind on Facebook arguments, okay? And then you're sitting here with your heart racing, and you're so angry and you're so violated by this person that's just like you somewhere. Like, I don't know if it looks like you or feels like you or was a victim like you, but every time you look at these videos and you look at this content and this violence, and you feel more and more hopeless from your little cage, your little COVID cage where you're stuck inside the house, I would recommend you go where the love is. I would recommend you go where the joy is. I would recommend you disconnect. I'm not saying pretend things aren't happening. I'm not saying disassociate from the emotions. It's the opposite of what I'm saying. I want you to connect with the right things. So find out what you can do for you. Find out what you can do for your family. And if you're in a position to give, that's the job of those that are here for that. Okay? If you're not in a place to give, remember, this is a recharge and a battery up season for you. And I want you to feel, now Karen's saying quiet is good, and doesn't mean we're not doing our part. So I want you to take that to heart, okay? So just because we're silent on social media doesn't mean we're not moving, and doesn't mean we're not working. It doesn't mean we don't care. Some of us may just have a different opinion about how things are going down, and it's much better to sit back and watch the dust settle. Because one of my favorite quotes, for those of you that have been watching me, is muddy water's best cleared when you leave it alone. So I'm going to stop stirring the pot for a little bit. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let the dust settle. But I'm doing me over here, and I'm doing what I've got to do for me, and I'm helping those that are coming to me, and I'm planning a bunch of new stuff for you guys. But I got called out for being quiet. They're like, well, I'm expecting to hear from you. Like, what do you have to say? I think you need, Sally was telling me, she's like, I need you to speak on this, because you're talking to me, and 5 times through this conversation, people are asking you what's happening. So if you have anybody else feeling like this, share. I don't know if it'll help you. I am going to go onto my YouTube and do the signs of Pisces, which is me, Pisces rising, and Aries. So if you're a Pisces or an Aries, your video is going up shortly right after this. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me And if you have any questions or you want to attend any classes or get a session with me, please find me, karmaondeck.com. Please jump on over to YouTube to get your Pisces and Aries reading. And if you want, I don't know if I'm going to do any more than that, but after that's Taurus, Gemini, etc. Let's see how much energy I have for that, because it's been kind of hard for me to open up. After like 2 videos, I'm starting to tank. So we'll see how it goes. I'm here for you guys. Like I said, we are in this together. This is war, man. Like sometimes you go out and strike, and sometimes you plan. So if you got a plan spiritually, like how you're going to heal and how you're going to interact in the next few steps, take care of you. So thanks for listening to my little karma rant. Love, 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 and light. Thank you so much for being on this walk with me, because you guys are my tribe, and it is an amazing place to be. So thank you for that, guys. Catch you on the flip side.